Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Well, it seems we're back at this point. It seems we're back at the point where people are making incredibly dumb decisions and affecting people's lives in extreme negative ways. We're back to people stealing. If you're an Australian and you're in the Pokemon trading card world, you've probably heard of the thefts that have been going on in Melbourne. If you're in the US, you've probably heard of similar things. If you're in New Zealand or Canada or UK or Europe or anywhere else in the world, I'm sure, theft is a universal, I don't want to call it occupation, a universal pain is what it is. It's probably been going on, or it has been going on since the dawn of time, and we're back at the stage. So I just thought I'd show you some footage in case you didn't realise there's been 4 or 5 stores across Victoria, Australia that have been robbed. This is straight off the Nine News website, so have a look at this one.
The aim of the game is to catch 'em all, but now these Pokemon pinching crooks are the ones caught on camera.
They just cracked down our door. These were like seasoned career criminals. They had a wheelie bin. They had this whole entire thing planned out.
Seeing that was just kind of like shattering.
The thieves busted into locked stores and brought their own bin to fill with collectibles. They switched the lights on and ignored loud sirens. They focused only on clearing the shelves and loading getaway cars.
They're just animals. I don't think they really seem to understand that this is small businesses.
All up, each store has lost thousands of dollars in
Now,
stock.
like I said, that's off Nine News Australia. Certainly not stealing their content, just using it as an example to show you what's been happening. Now, this isn't the only time stealing has been happening in the Pokemon card world. And it's so frustrating when we get to this point. Some people might also remember that big Fusion Strike theft that happened, which we'll get into a second. Remember that back, all the secret rares and alternate arts that got stolen. Very quick segue to today's video sponsor, that is PokeNotify. This is a way to pick up card products without being a thief. PokeNotify is your one-stop Discord. I'll leave a link in the description. What you can do inside there is a community of like-minded people, whether you're Australia, New Zealand, Canada, United States, Europe, UK. Easy. You can jump on there. It'll show you when Pokemon card product drops. We know how difficult it is to come across product at the moment, so it'll give you heaps of opportunity to pick things up as soon as it hits stores online. PokeNotify, that is. Again, I'll leave a link in the description for the download. If you use code PokeOz_25, you'll get 25% off your first month. There's also a 3-day free trial. So if you want to just give it a go and see what it's like, I'm sure you won't be disappointed. Again, in the description for that one. Also, one of the biggest ones, and Rattle Pokemon calls out a lot of people for this. I won't show the videos, but just a little quick screen grab up on here. Rattle Pokemon calls out all the guys that are, stealing from card shows. A lot of vendors now will obviously have the cameras up at big card shows to, create content, show the trades they do, and sometimes they end up catching out thieves on there, thefts that happen firsthand, where they'll go back through the footage, developing a video out of it, and find someone faking a trade or putting a decoy in place and stealing a card out of a folder. And back onto that, so that's another example, but back onto that Fusion Strike saga that happened. Remember this, and this is straight off PokeRev, of course, the biggest Pokemon YouTube creator in the TCG space. This is straight off his one of his shorts. Remember this back in the day.
Anywhere between $200,000 to $1 million of Fusion Strike secret rares and alternate artworks were stolen by an employee that worked at a printing facility. In this photo, you can see anywhere from 5,000 to 20,000 of some of the rarest cards from Fusion Strike. That's because these cards were brought into a shop called Trading Card World, and the employees immediately knew something was off. Reason being, with that many secret rares and alternate artwork, you can only imagine that you'd have to open up something like 500,000 to 1 million packs. Take, for example, the alternate artwork Gengar VMAX, which looks to be around 500 of them.
So there we go. There's just a few examples across the last 4 or 5 years where, cards have been stolen at card shows. An employee seemingly stole cards straight from the factory and then tried to offload them straight away. And now, only days ago, local stores in Victoria have been robbed, not long after, and not only robbed, like the employer was saying, scoping out the shop owner's routine to make sure exactly when they shut up shop and when the right time to come in is and steal. It's just madness that we get to this point, is it? Coupled with the fact of people fighting over packs of cards in Costco, it's just like, whoa, at the end of the day, they're just Pokemon cards. Yes, we love it. Yes, it's great fun. Yes, there's an investing side, which obviously this channel promotes heavily, but at the end of the day, they're just Pokemon cards. And I thought we'd go into maybe a tiny bit of psychology around it. And this is purely my thoughts on it. Everyone might have different ideas on it, but I think I said at the start of the video, theft is something that's probably been going on since the dawn of time. And generally when a society gets together, they rally against when something like that happens. Because the whole plan of a society, if it's mostly just across the dawn of time, a just society will go, you know what? You reap what you sow. You've got to work for something, don't you? Stealing off someone else to get it is wrong. And eventually, a society that's, like I said, just, will rally against that behavior and ultimately aim to punish it. So if you catch someone that is stealing, let's punish them for doing the wrong thing as a deterrent against that behavior. But then I start thinking, well, what actually goes through these people's minds? So they're clearing out the shelves and they're probably taking, they might not even know what's expensive and what's not. Well, they might be Pokemon card fanatics, but they're obviously clearing out the shelves of single cards, and they mentioned cards up to $600. They might have raw examples of modern old arts and whatnot. They might be stealing, or it looks like they were stealing all the sealed product out of there. But it makes you think, what is exactly going through their mind? What makes them think that's okay? Let's smash through the front door. Let's smash through the cabinets, clear out all singles, smash through the back cabinets and clear out all sealed product. And then, all that for maybe whatever their inventory is worth, $10,000, $15,000. Then the hassle of trying to sell it essentially on the black market without getting caught out. It's like, and I know it's probably easy just to filter them into the mix, but why? What makes people think that's okay? And, I think it's got to be this, well, A, it's just stupidity. But B, I suppose if I think about the psychology behind it, are people thinking that, their own self-needs are more important than, the rest of the communities? Where they go, well, I'm doing it tough and my life's hard, so rather than work for it like everyone else, I'm just going to steal off someone else's livelihood and make a quick buck because, morally that sits somewhat okay with me because I'm doing it hard and I deserve that. I don't know what goes through people's heads when they're doing that, but it's such a shame when the hobby gets to this point. Let me know your comments down below. Have you, particularly if you watch this channel and you're a shop owner, maybe you go to conventions, what's your experience with it? Have you had things stolen? And look, there's a catch-22 to it because the part of the hobby, or the hobby in general, it seems to only get to this stage when things are hot. If we think back to Fusion Strike, don't forget, Fusion Strike came out not long after Evolving Skies, and yeah, we were past that probably massive turning point, but we were still on the back end of that huge boom. It was still a big boom. Battle Styles, Chilling Reign, of course, probably started with Vivid Voltage, Shining Fates, etc., Champion's Path, and then we're rolling into, Chilling Reign, Evolving Skies, 25th anniversary around the corner, Fusion Strike. It was still booming. Although it maybe was at the tail end of it, it was still booming. And that's when we saw the theft of the alt arts. And, really solid alt arts, of course. There was Rainbow Muse inside there. There was the Gengar VMAX. There was the Espeon VMAX, hundreds and hundreds of copies of this card. At card conventions, we see it. And then here now in Melbourne, Australia, when it's so hard to get product and singles have absolutely gone through the roof, it's a catch-22 because what it tells us, it seems, when this behavior happens is that the hobby's actually in an incredibly strong place where, people are fighting over product and it's really, really hard to get. And it makes sense to steal it because it's so hard because they'll be able to sell it so quickly on the black market essentially. It's just crazy, isn't it? Catch-22, I feel really, really sorry for these store owners. We've all been there. I sell cars for a living. I don't have any skin in the game in the business that I work in, as in, I'm not a part owner of a Toyota dealership, but it happens to us. We'll have some customer's car ready and, you know, the showroom might be full and we might have to park it outside overnight and then, you know, give it a quick tidy up before we bring it in the showroom the next day for delivery. And maybe there's, you know, spotlights on the car. If that's what you call them in America, we call them driving lights down here in Australia. There might be UHF antennas on there if someone's going to be using that. And, you know, we get stuff stolen. We get UHF antennas stolen. We get driving lights stolen. It's just like, give it a break. It's people's livelihood. Like I said, I don't have any skin in the game, as in I don't own the dealership and it's not my personal property or inventory being stolen, but I care about it because I work there and I put 50 hours a week in there and it's, you know, I take some ownership over it. It's a real pain when it happens. So I can't believe what it feels like for, you know, store owners at the moment, like having your inventory stolen and that fear of being broken into as well. You know, it just gives you that creepy and icky feeling inside, like someone's watching you, and you know that's tough. Most people go home to a family. That people are just working hard trying to put, you know, food on the table and pay mortgages at the moment. What an absolute shame. I don't really do many of these videos. I feel like I've almost done a rattle Pokemon video here. Of course, we're an investing channel and we typically look at, you know, market trends and investing strategies in Pokemon cards, but this just ticked me off and I thought I would do a video on it just to, you know, spread awareness. So if I have one final message, you know, look after each other. If you see any suspicious sales or behavior, which most people do in the community, call them out straight away. If you're at a card show and you see it happening, call it out straight away. And look, don't be afraid. Don't feel like the bad guy. I'm a golfer and I'm sure some of you guys and girls play golf as well. And if I see someone cheating, I just call it out. I don't care. It is, you shouldn't be cheating, especially if it's like, if you're just playing and having a fun round, you just drop a ball or take another shot because you lost one, who cares? But if you're in a competition where you're up against other players and there's prize money at play, don't cheat. Like, just call it out. Call it out if you see it. And finally, look after each other. If, you know, someone's got to duck out of the shop, if you're a store owner, make sure there's someone there to cover you and have eyes. We've got to be probably a little bit more vigilant in these times, but ultimately look after each other. I'm Michael, this is PokeOz. Catch everyone next time. Member giveaway. Starting from the month of February 2025, I'll be doing a giveaway to a member every single month of 2025. All you need to do is become a member of the channel. I'll pick one of you essentially a month and we'll do a free giveaway. At the moment, hopefully they're going to get better and better as, you know, members increase. It's not something I've really focused on the channel. So, you know, if we can grow the members, hopefully the giveaways can get stronger and stronger. But for the month of February 2025, nice little special illustration rare from Scarlet and Violet Base. Scarlet and Violet Base is starting to see a little bit of growth. One of the legendaries, Koraidon EX. So nice little giveaway. We'll be going to one of you members and that's it. Member giveaway 2025.